the presidency has lambasted People's Democratic Party PDP governors over their position a fortnight ago that the ruling All Progressives Congress APC is unfit to participate in the 2023 general elections. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the presidency blamed the opposition party for the state of the nation. The PDP governors, under the aegis of the Governors Forum, PDP Governors Forum, had passed the vote of no confidence on the APC-led administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. In a 9-point communique read by the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Tambuwal, the opposition governors said should APC insist on contesting the forthcoming general election, despite its woeful failure in every aspect of national life, Nigerians should outrightly reject the ruling party at the polls. Okay, joining me now in the studios to look at these issues is a RISE News analyst, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, who is also an expert in strategic communications. Very warm welcome to Newsnight.
Thank you.
It's a loaded problems with the two big parties in the country, but the PDP seems to have a unique one, wanting to jettison Article 7C of its constitution, where it talks about rotating the presidency between the North and the South, simpliciter. What are the implications here of jettisoning that particular article in its constitution?
Well, it's a very tricky thing. Ordinarily, we have made the point that we shouldn't be talking about zoning in the 21st century democracy, where it should be about capacity, about the ability of a potential candidate to deliver. But of course, Nigeria, we understand, is a fragile democracy. Things are still building up. You still need to give people a sense of belonging, sense of integration and inclusion. That's why zoning is coming into the fore. But it's now very much more concerning with respect to PDP because they pioneered the question of zoning from 1999 up to now. And the challenge is now for them to think about where it's going to go to against the background of APC, of an opposition party, producing a president that has ruled for 8 years from a particular section of the country. But from the arrangement, from the story we are hearing from PDP, you may not completely blame them, if they are thinking of jettisoning it, irrespective of the disadvantages, that it appears that it could come up with. You may not blame them because they are looking at winning the election. And if they want to win the election, they are thinking of areas, where the votes may come from, where partisans are much more influential, etc., etc. But that's against the background of arguments we have made earlier on, that if we want to really zone and we are concerned about zoning, the section of the country that has been most deprived since independence, since 1999, is actually the Southeast. But from the body language of all the partisans, all the players, it doesn't look as if they are looking towards the Southeast. And that's why they are also saying that if you're not going to give it to the Southeast, then let it be thrown open. Okay, but in pursuing that argument, like we are hearing again, that PDP is going to do, there are also fears that there will be resistance from other sections of the South. And that's why Kashim Afegba has been very trenchant, very rhetorical about his position that, I don't think, yes, I agree with some of his positions, but I don't think it's a position I don't think it is as menacing as he's presenting it. I want to believe that the political process has inbuilt mechanisms through which some of these things can be resolved.
Let's quickly look at
it is appearing that politicians, have grown, to realize that, the existence of the entire body policy of the country seem to be much more important than some of these predilections,
let's quickly,
partisanship. Yeah.
Yes, Prof. Sorry to cut in there, but let's quickly look at about 4 years ago, 2019, the Port Harcourt Convention. Arise was there, we carried it live, and the presidency was zoned to the north by the PDP. Atiku Abubakar came out tops in that elections, followed by Tambuwal. Everybody respected the spirit of zoning. Yeah. Why now?
Yeah, that's the point we're making, Christian, that PDP has been out of power for 8 years.
So why has it become so expedient that zoning doesn't matter anymore?
No, it still matters. And that if it doesn't matter, the party hierarchy wouldn't be setting up a committee to look at it. It still matters to them. But they're just trying to find...
If it matters, and they've already started selling forms to northern candidates, aspirants.
No, they're selling not just to northern candidates, to every candidate across the country. But that's the catch-22 situation they are in. What will happen now when the committee finally comes out with their report? What's going to be the position? Suppose they say zone to the south, are they going to refund monies that have been paid by aspirants, board nominations? So that's the catch-22 situation. But you see, do not forget the critical position that PDP belongs to, which is that they want to win an election. And they are thinking that because it seems as if they are not ready to back a southeastern candidate, going by the agitations of people, of the critical mass of the society.
And that's from your political crystal ball?
Yeah, I mean, from my own observation.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, from my own observation, I think that the preponderance of opinion is that if you look at the arithmetics of it, the argument is that Southwest deserves it more. But again, even some prominent Southeasterners are saying that if you're not going to give it to us, then throw it open. Do not say bring it to the South, and then you are not defining the southern part of the country, the part of the south of the country that you want to benefit from this position. So if you are not doing that, then throw it open. Let's have any part of the country. Let's go to the ballot and let the electorate decide. And that's how you are seeing the enthusiasm of prominent politicians from the north rightly purchasing forms and ready throwing their hearts into the ring.
Well, it's their right, no doubt. But do you see some backstabbing here? Take, for example, in 2019, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, backed Tambuwal, in all material particulars and the rest. And of course, we hear that the strongman of Port Harcourt, of Rivers State, wants to run too for the presidency.
He's running.
He's running, actually. And Tambuwal, is not supporting him.
No, they are running. They are looking for the same position. Tambuwal has declared, and of course, is
that's
one of the most qualified.
Do you see some backstabbing here?
I think it's part of the political process.
Because one would be expecting you rub my hands, I rub your hand. In the Nigerian parlance, as they say.
Oh, well, if that's what you mean, yeah. But in 2019, Governor of Rivers State, is a very straightforward person. He came out openly and supported Governor Tambuwal. But Tambuwal declared earlier, even for this election, for this 2022, he declared a long time ago. So he probably was not aware that Governor Wike was going to run. So he declared ahead of Governor Wike. That Governor has declared. So what is going to happen is maybe at some point one of them will step down for the other, and we should be able to prepare the crack going forward.
Well, okay. No time to quickly ask you the response of the presidency lambasting PDP Governors Forum there, that they ruined the nation's development in their more than 16 years of leadership and rest. Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, thanks so very much. Analyst and expert in strategic communication with Base University.